Hello Taurus, and welcome to your Mercury retrograde July update. So this is important. It is very difficult for me to do the readings when Mercury retrograde exists because shifts can happen so much. And apropos that, guys, please make sure to check your ascendant and moon sign. I was just doing Virgo reading before yours, and I made this analogy, which I think I'm going to use from now on, that general readings that you get from readers like me who post this stuff are just like Old Navy kind of like jeans, right? They might sort of fit, but not exactly, not every kind of like nook and cranny and curve of your body. You will need to try different models. So that's why you need to check your ascendant and you check moon sign. But if you really want those jeans to be perfectly catered to you, then please I offer private readings, and that's really the best way to go. And guys, please also check your subscription, because this could be a part of the problem. YouTube is, I was told, I've seen other people complaining a lot, unsubscribing people. I am kind of like one of those people who don't believe in buying subscribers. I said, whatever it is, it is. I just want to see that this is kind of done in a very organic way. So, but you never know. Please check it on your end. And if so, kind of like, please subscribe. And lastly, if you're new here, if you're getting messages, that's because you were meant to get them. So let's see what we have for you. Whoa, you have Lovers. Isn't this beautiful? I just love this, right? So there is like a passion and intimacy and connection and protectiveness. I see everything. And I also see here divine connection together. It's, yes, we do see the tree of life over here and tree of knowledge as well, but it's kind of like really cute. Then we have, whoa, we have the Emperor showing up. You have two majors, but then you have Three of Swords. Of course, something has to kind of like be the fly in the ointment. And we have Nine of Wands, which I'm not crazy about as an expression in this deck, but I'll explain. Actually, this Three of Swords is also very unique because generally you see this heart. It almost looks like it's blinking. Did you notice this? Hey, did you notice this, guy? Just go and backtrack. This is like amusing that we did get this message coming through. It was almost like the heart turning black. This one is coming with this person who is almost like kind of hiding something, but also she is crying, but kind of like she has the expression, she almost looks like me, to be honest, and she has this expression of spite, like, you know, I'm crying but I am back on my feet, right? So you being a fixed sign, you're sort of stubborn to some extent this way. I mean, in the other decks there's like a really dark cloud over, but here we can see the storm is over. And I really like this because to me this really gives me like more hope, more rebelliousness. There is like a period over here that you'll be going through where it's going to be some kind of like, let's call it a rebound. It's going to be something from the past that really has to be placed to rest. This Mercury retrograde in Leo, it is like freaking intense, very, very intense, because I think there are like other things happening as well, because you have Mars and in conjunction with Leo as well, and then you have Uranus and Chiron also kind of like acting up here. So there's kind of like that edge between two eclipses, right? So Uranus is unpredictable, right? And guess who likes predictability? So for the Taurus is born in April, you know, like how other people, and I know that tarot cards are being assigned to a sign, but I really kind of like look through that differently as well. And so for you, it looks to me that the ones who, almost like I see two readings, one for the Tauruses from April and another one for Tauruses in May. So but nonetheless it can cross, as I said. Like, you have to check your ascendant, you have to check your moon to see all the influences. So first and foremost, this Lover's card, it's kind of like a very controversial card, right? I don't even know why it's called Lovers. It really should be called Choice. And what I really like about this card, except the passion, when you really look up, we kind of like focus on what we want to know, what we want to see, but look at the angel doing the magic, pulling the strings over here, right? So the Lovers really represent the union of duality, and this is like why I'm talking about this choice, where there's like the force that kind of like binds these two entities together. We sometimes call it a relationship or love, but it can also be idea or a personal decision, right? So should I do this or should I do that? It doesn't have to be two choices, could be multiple choices, right? In your case, I think that you have about 4 different choices, right? So this is clearly the card that actually would be affected with Mercury, and even though if it's upright, kind of like anything can really happen, right? So this is kind of telling me that you really, really, really have to be careful about the motives and stuff that you're doing, because values are also really important, contemplating the path you will take. So it actually could be about relationships. Generally Mercury retrograde, when it's applied to relationships, it comes to some kind of apex of understanding or of some kind of ending. So that ending could be a good thing, like we are no longer going to bicker, for example, and this makes no sense. Because ultimately what I'm learning in my shamanic studying, that I have to be a completely different partner in order to attract a different partner. Because most of us are going and going and going through life, and you have been happy in your relationships, then most likely you would not be kind of like coming here, because the stare that I do is for healing. So this really means that we have been on some level stuck. And this is a good sign for you that you are getting unstuck. So for some of you, this would mean maybe shedding some tears, because nostalgia kicks in and we kind of like mourn the good times, or how we fought for somebody and how we really wanted to kind of like make it, because this is about rejection or pain and grief. And I really think in your case it is deception. I really think you wanted somebody to fight for you, or you fought for somebody and it just like fell flat on your face, but you picked yourself up. You're saying, you know what, I am pulling this heart out of my chest, and I'm going to pull every single sword, and I'm going to heal. It looks like it's still a process for some of you, because I'll tell you now why I don't like this card. Because in the other decks you see wounded warrior who is wounded but very much spiteful, just like her, and here is like almost transfer, where here is like somebody who is a little bit kind of like tired, right? She probably had a long game and kind of like poker face on, but she's kind of like getting to the stage and saying, ugh, I don't know if I really want to fight anymore. It is like so hard to do that, right? So it's kind of like almost like feeling like a failure. Something did not work out, or this could be hesitation. It could be some kind of paranoia that is kind of like involved over here. So it could be that maybe the offer will be made and something is looking amazing, but your push buttons, your triggers will go, oh, this is not right, this is not right, why is he telling me he loves me? So you see, it's kind of like come back to the number 1. So let's see what we get in runes. Woo, we are getting kaunas, and kaunas is the rune of passion on the inside, and it's also about clarity. It's also about really sudden clarity. So this actually could talk about illumination, just very much like this kind of transfer. Something has to stop, and it's going to be different. It must be different, or it's not going to continue, right? It's kind of like really interesting also, this kind of like, you could feel very passionate about a person or an ideal, and so when this rune comes through, like it kind of like becomes like strange, like kind of like mixed up together. So it can indicate the beginning of an intense love affair. Maybe something was a friendship and ended friendship, and now it's a relationship, right? Or vice versa. Like, I mean, you're ending a relationship and you're saying, well, you know what, let's be friends. But it also can imply that this is going to go beyond this physical intensity, right? And kind of like in spite of all odds, sort of to say. So there is also a sense that everything is progressing just as it should, that destiny kind of like has the hand in it, right? And that you are guys protected from all harm. Reconsider. Did you shut somebody out, guys? It takes a fixed sign to know a fixed sign, right? So something has been happening that maybe you made your mind up, and you guys, you know, as me and other fixed sign, when we make our minds up, we just shut the door, put all this kind of like chains on it, and it's over. But this can talk about relationship, or can talk about some kind of like element of your plan that needs to be reevaluated. Maybe you applied for promotion at work. Maybe you apply for a new job and it's kind of like falling through. So I would really say that you probably would need to kind of like do this mock presentation with a friend, a trusted friend or trusted advisor, and that person can give you objective feedback. This is also telling me that, hey, and look at her, I just absolutely love her holding the sword and having this whole light. It's asking your angels for guidance, right? And this is kind of like not a really moment to make this shift and change in your life, or something that you are really set on is going to go through this, through this process. So I just kicked the tripod just like that, right? But this is also a promise of the better time that will be coming, right? And you're going to realize at that stage that you actually wish to choose something different. You know, it's almost like, hey, you bought some furniture and it's just supposed to be delivered to your home, and then you go, oh my goodness, I wish I purchased something else. Maybe something else appears, and then you're like, backpedaling, trying to call the company and say, well, you know, can you apply this money toward that sort of things to relationships. So my dear Taurus, hopefully this helps. Please subscribe, that helps my algorithm, and please, as I said, check your subscription. And if you're new and this resonated with you, please also check your ascendant and moon sign for additional information. In the description you can find how to find out if you don't know that already. And comments are always absolutely great, because that's going to help you to get your readings faster the next time around, because I have click per contest, click contest, blah, and it's Mercury retrograde. That's why this is all happening. And the signs who are going to have more clicks and more comments are going to get the readings faster than the other sides. So hopefully it's going to be you, and until the next time, do not despair. Things are going to happen, and everything is happening in their own time for a reason. Love you guys. All the best.